Hey guys, welcome back to the Land of Pharaohs. I'm Sajuuk, and we're going into the height of the Old Kingdom again because we've got a choice mission. And in the previous part in the playlist, we did Bahariya Oasis, which was the soldiers of Ra. We're going to be heading off into Djedu, but I can't say that word very well. It doesn't come out very well in voice. Which is worshipping Ra. So basically an alternate to what we just did there without the military aspect. If you are interested in Bahariya, just click back on the playlist. But here we're going to be going into Djedu.
The reigns of Khufu and Khafra have come to an end, and with them so too has the fourth dynasty of Egyptian ruling families. But Lady Kentakawis, a distant member of this family, has given birth to a new pharaoh named Userkaf. And so the royal line continues unbroken. With Userkaf begins the fifth dynasty, an era that promises much change. Userkaf has decentralized the rule of our country somewhat, and has granted more power to local authorities. Now nomarchs such as you are free to handle their own affairs. Pharaoh will not attempt the construction of a massive tomb to house him for eternity, for he has another project in mind for you. Pharaoh has declared Ra, god of the sun and of the kingdom, to be king of the gods, and intends to proclaim his sovereignty throughout the land. Many sun temples already dot the Egyptian landscape, but Pharaoh wishes that the greatest be located at Djedu, in the humid delta region of Lower Egypt. Like most of the delta, Djedu is rich in game, fish, and other wildlife and vegetation, but offers few mineral resources. As such, sandstone needed for construction of the Sun Temple will need to be imported from the quarries at On. Cattle may be raised here to provide meat, though the herds require much straw for fodder. You'll need to clear land in order to create a suitable location for the Sun Temple. Be sure to sell enough of the precious timber you may harvest first, for once it is gone, you may not be able to acquire more. Bedet and Abjedu are always in need of wood and also game. Thus, trade with them should help to offset the cost of constructing this sacred monument.
Indeed it will, because we're going to need some money to build the Temple of the Sun, population 4,500. That's actually pretty high. And in fact, from about this point, all of the missions are pretty much minimum 4,000, no less. Prosperity rating of 40, Kingdom 50, and culture is going to be quite high. We're going to need some mortuaries and some higher level housing to meet that. A couple of mistakes. It says here from the quarries at the Dunkel Oasis, that is correct. The voice actor said On, and if you cast your mind back to the On video, there was sandstone quarries. So I believe that this is the working theory. I can't prove it, obviously, but my working theory is that it was going to be On, then they added Dunkel Oasis, and they changed the text, but they didn't change any of the missions around to support that. It says here something about clearing timber. I don't think we need to do that, but we'll have a look at that in the mission when we go to it. Continuing on hard mode, let's head to the city. And slow time down and pause. So what we got here, a lot of reeds. That's more than enough. That's infinite, literally. It doesn't mean we're going to have a malaria risk. Got a nice bend in the Nile here, with some floodplain that we can use. Quite a bit of floodplain there. There's some hunting there as well. Not much. Now, it says there you've got clear trees. Now, there's all the trees down here. There's no way a monument's going to fit in there at all. And there's some trees up here, which again, no monument can fit. So I don't understand why it says that you would need to destroy trees. You don't, because, well, there's no reason to destroy the trees. I mean, there's only a few trees here, which you might destroy, but there's no reason to do that. You can put this anywhere. For those who haven't watched the Bahariya Oasis video, this requires 220 blocks of sandstone to put down, and a further 160 to build. So some red headings in the briefing telling you to destroy trees when you don't need to do that. So what we've got in terms of raw resources, wood and reeds. So we don't have clay, which means we're going to have to import that. We've got wood and papyrus, which are going to be good exports. Osiris Ra Bast, who's our patron. Osiris. Again, another mistake because it should be Ra. So I guess when this mission was devised, it was earlier in the campaign. I don't know. Or maybe the map wasn't even designed like this and it was changed to this format without the briefing being changed, I don't know. But that's clearly a red herring, we don't need to destroy trees. Gonna probably need to avail ourselves of land space over here to get both wood, game and more housing in it. Like, I don't think I could fit a lot of housing up here. I might be able to fit 2 blocks, but I'm not too sure. Can build a military, but there's no need to do that. There's no invasions on this one. Grain is our only food type, so no barley or flax. We're going to have to import that. Cattle, not going to bother with it. Hunting and fishing, so we can get free food types without any trouble. What's our trade? We're here in Djedu. There's a lot of cities on this map. I thought Bedet was supposed to be in decline way back in Maydoom, but apparently it still exists. I don't know. Owen here buys I mean, that is so low quotas. They only sell 1500 clay and they buy 1500 wood. It's a very cheap route, but that's not a lot. Dunkel Oasis, 1300 Deben to get a source of selling papyrus, and the only source of sandstone on this map. So we're going to have to open up both of these only 2 trade routes that we have in order to make any money. We're going to go into papyrus first, not wood, because yes, I can sell wood, but that's not much. I can sell more to Dunkel, and the amount of money that I get off of this will allow me to maybe get into a wood export as well. I could probably put quite a number of grain farms down this end, quite a few. And we'll just farm off of grain and have fish. Maybe a little bit in here. It's going to be quite difficult because there's not much way to get onto this floodplain. So we'll have to just be careful we don't block off any access points. It's like I could put 2 grain farms there and then there's only one way onto the floodplain, which is not too good. So we can probably fit a few farms around here. Okay, I'll go work this out. I'll go and plan out a housing block and I'll come back in once I've done it. Okay, so we've got the city set up, so I'm going to go for a 9x9 right here. Now, unfortunately, because of these little tiles here that are not harvestable, but they are marshland if you right click on them, it makes it very difficult to build blocks, because over here there is another little bit of a dot right there. It makes it difficult to set up a nice line block. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to have one 9x9 here, a long thin block, the one that I used in Abu, or one of the other cities, I can't remember. It was a 5 wide block with a road going around it. I'll have that there, and I'll have the block that I was using in Maydoom. I was just trying to remember what map it was. I'll have another one of those blocks over here, and that'll provide us all the population that we need. Now we are running out of cash. We only started with 4,500, but this should be more than enough reed production for papyrus, because we need to open up the trader to Dunkel Oasis anyway to get sandstone. And then once I've got sold out that, I will start wood exports, because there's very little use for wood at the moment until later when more trade routes open up. And I have to cross to here anyway to do that. Not too sure where I'm going to put it. Probably I'm going to put the ferry landing there, so then I'm not using up these little 3x3 spaces for docks and the like. Okay, so I'll just keep this running, and I'll come back in once we're starting to make our first papyrus. Okay, so we're starting to produce papyrus here. We've produced 400 already. We've got way too many reeds. These are stockpiling quite quickly. You can also see down here, I put down a road which is going to be for all of our fishing wharfs all the way along this coastline, alongside a place to put down work camps and other kinds of storage yards and all that kind of stuff for our various industries around here. Now hopefully these hippos don't cause too many problems with our grain stuff, but they shouldn't be a problem right now. So we've got, what is this, 600 papyrus. I think all of these are stockpiled, they are. There's still quite a supply in storage to be delivered. And I think that should be enough. If it's not enough, I will put down more. We've used up about half the funds, I think. Let's just see. Yeah, about half. Let's actually just put down more papyrus makers, since we've got the reed stockpiling for it now. And now that that's produced, that's 700. Who's the next one that's going to give us some? Yes, okay, so when the next set of papyrus comes in, which we're just going to speed up time to see. So there we go, we've got 1100. Let's just open up the trade route to Dunkel Oasis. Quite expensive. That is one long road, but never mind. Let's just sell all papyrus that we can. It'll sell for quite a bit and we'll get some money, and that will allow me to get across the Nile here and start looking at a wood industry to get into a wood export. Here comes some more papyrus. There's some more. We should be able to sell it at 1600 pretty quickly here. At least I hope so, because there's the first person in. Let's see. Unemployed is not too good, but we can probably solve that later. So we're just going to buy up papyrus. Look at that lovely money. So with that money that we've got from papyrus sales, we are going to go and set up our wood industry, and that will give us some more money. And that allows us to expand into things like shipwrights and things like that. So I'm going to come back in once we are starting to produce our first wood and selling it. Okay, so we've got our woods industry set up here, and this is pretty creative. I've basically chopped down just a couple of trees here and there, and I've basically drawn a road all the way along all of this. Just any space that I could put a woodcutter, I put down one. And it's quite tight fitting that. This will not evolve, but it just means I don't need a connection across here, because most of the playthroughs that I've seen, and even previous styles that I played this mission, I would have a connection here and the woodcutters all over here. Which is fine, but it just slowed up everything. It didn't produce maximum wood. And given that, if you look here, we can only sell 1500 unless I get a trade boost. It's not worth it to go into a massive wood industry. It's not going to make up the majority of our sales. I put down more papyrus makers here, and I moved the shrines out to here to make a nice little shrine wall for later. Short by 80 workers is not too good, but we are going to put down a single work camp, and then put down a couple more grain farms, like so. I might move one of these later so I can get an irrigation ditch around this area, because it's currently not irrigated. But let's just do that. Let's just do that. And for now I will just do a connection like that. Irrigated. Irrigated and irrigated, so that's all irrigated, which is fine. Let's just turn off straw since we have no use for it. And yeah, pretty much all of our sales have been papyrus at this point, so we're doing quite well. We're going to start producing our first food stuff, and I will have to move this road later so I can put down the block in this space. I might even plan for it when I get more money from sales of papyrus. Sell off 400 every so often, which is not too bad. It's giving us money. And once we start to sell wood, that will help as well. Are you short by workers? You are. That's not going to help. Sell off a little bit, which is good. So I'm going to start producing some food. We're going to solve the desirability troubles here. And, oh, our gods are getting a little upset. Let's just put down this and this for now. Okay, so I'm going to go and plan out the second block that we're going to have here. I'm not too sure how many people will get into it, but we'll find out later. So I'll come back in once this second block is planned, which will allow me to go and put down granaries and other kind of industry. Okay, so we're starting to grow the city. I've planned out this little block here. I don't think I'll highly evolve it, but we will see how many workers that we need, whether I need to build another block over here or not. Over here we are producing plenty of wood for stockpile and export, so we're just going to go and open this water trade route to own and sell wood. And we're only able to sell 1500 a year. That will be higher because of the fact that we are stockpiling so much. And I believe they sail in from this corner here. Yeah, they do. So he's going to come up and buy 1100 wood, which is going to give us profit. I mean, you can see how well I'm efficiently using the space by putting woodcutters right on the edge of this space. But here we go. Plenty of cash, 1100. That's actually more than 1100, sorry. So with this, we are going to, what's this set to? That's set to accept, I think that should be, yeah, so this one's going to be fish, and that one's going to be grain, because grain's the furthest away, which is fine. So we're going to start to feed the people, because we are short on, well, we've actually got some unemployment, but the amount of unemployment is deceptive. It's 15%, but it's only 51 in workers, which is not enough to staff all these 12 worker buildings without a massive labour shortage. Don't want to just keep putting down houses, that's not the solution. So we are going to feed some people. with grain. Granary will go there. Set to get grain. I'm not too sure about other granaries because this space, if I just map out where I'm putting this, that's going to go there, but that's only space for I think one granary. It might even obstruct the Sun Temple if I put that there. So if I just check that. Let's get this out. So it's up to there. So if I just draw a road out like that, just disconnect it there. Let's see. No, it won't. I actually won't. That won't obstruct it. That'll just be touching it nicely. So we'll have a granary here for grain, a granary here for either game meat or fish, depends on which one I want. And over here, when we set up a house block over here, if I need it, this will be fed on grain and game meat. So I'll have them isolated, even though they're going to be connected, that's only to get the resources in. Have we sold out? 1100, so he's still leaving, and there's still woods that's going to stockpile here for the next sale, which is good. So on the next flood, once the flood comes back up, I'm going to put down more grain farms, expand our work camps because we're going to need them. Just put another one down there again. They should always be able to touch these houses. I'm not too sure yet if that'll still work the way I want it, but we shall see. So yeah, we're just going to keep on going, growing our city, start to evolve our housing, because that's more important than just putting down a bunch of slums. Keeping our gods happy is also important. And yeah, I'll come back in if anything of interest happens. Ooh, what's this? Because Pharaoh seeks to honour the deity, Pharaoh is planning a great festival to raise men effort and needs goods from your city. You have 6 months to send 500 demons. Now apparently he knows that we can't mine gold here, but he's going to take our money in any case. Luckily we have about 2,000 in stockpile, which helps. We're also going to... Are we seriously selling? Let me just wait till this sale goes past. Now we'll send it. Gods were also getting a little upset. I did put down a couple of extra shrines and the like. We can just at this very moment in time put down that. I've also sent out some fishing wars. On the off chance he might ask for fish or anything, we might want to just stockpile that. No point in this well, it's serving no purpose. Fire in the city, where? Right, how? How has that burnt down? Well, since we can only get one of... Let's just put the fire out quickly, guys. I do not want that to go any further. There. There we go. He's going to put it out. So we're going to start getting some fish, which will help with our city. What's the unemployment like? Quite big. Let's turn on the papyrus industry now. We're also going to give Bass a temple because she's getting a little upset as well. There you go. Have a temple. We can build down a temple complex of a size, which I might do. Certainly not there because I'll just use up the space. I may put it down and it'll help with food distribution and the like. Who are you? Someone apparently... who are you? A woodcutter delivery man who seems to be off on a wild goose chase across the greenery. Okay. Okay, there's a glitch apparently. Because we sent the money off, they're happy with us. Okay, good. So we're going to continue to stockpile papyrus. I'll try to stockpile a bit more before starting to sell it because otherwise it'll be problematic. And let's actually just take the opportunity. I'll go and set up some more farms because that's what I'm going to have to do as well. And yeah, I'll come back in once we're starting to produce a nice stockpile of food for our city. Okay, so we're starting to grow this city quite nicely. Down here I have put down pretty much all the farms that can be supported. Now, I'm not too sure about this guy right at the end. If this guy always gets spawned and he drowns before he exits, I will delete it and I'll put it somewhere else. Because there is enough space over here to probably put down a few more grain farms. And we could probably subsist this whole city on grain without any trouble at all. The amount of money that we can make on this map is actually ridiculous. We've already got 9,000 out of nowhere. I didn't even do anything except sell papyrus, which is pretty good. We're starting to evolve our housing. Around this back bit here, I'm going to have all the storage yards that we need to accept sandstone. And from my count from the last map, Baharia, we need 7 of them. So that's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. So there's more than enough space. So what I can do is just put down a... oops, there, let's put that there. And just row a block there. Like so. And this could be pretty much... I'm not sure if I'll get all of them around here, but we should be able to get quite a number of them. If I can't, I'll just put one somewhere else, which is fine. So we're selling out papyrus. How much have we sold? 2,500. 1,100 of that. We're going to sell at another 1,500 over 1,100 over there to max out our quotas, which is good. We're starting to import sandstone. In fact, let's just put down this. You're going to get fish, and we're going to actually have a little... let's just make sure that's not blocking anything. Employees needed, don't care. It's not, that's perfect. So let's just put down this and this. And we're just going to row block there and there. And just make sure that they're always passes. We'll start to bring in fish, which will be good as a supplement to our grain supplies. We don't seem to get enough. Here's the harvest coming up actually. So this one at the end here, does he get off? No, he doesn't. So the last two don't get off the floodplain. So they drown. So I will have to move that. We produced too much wood out of this. There we go, another bit of money. That's good. So I might have to expand onto this a little bit of floodplain here for additional food. I'm not too sure. And we've got a house here that's evolved. They shouldn't have, which is unfortunate. Anyway, all of our exports are up and running at this point now. It's just a case of, so in this, I think there must be something wrong with the spawning in this corner, because he always likes to wander into random places. Oh, I see, I see. There is a bug where they will go through this bit here, so I'm going to have to just delete that tree like this. See how he misplaces himself? I'm going to put a statue right there. So there is this bug, you don't see it often. There are a couple of missions where this happens, where the person, the sprites basically, when the road's like that, they sort of go into the ferry landing as if it's part of the road, and then they glitch out visually like that. So it does happen in maps like Minat Khufu and all that. Some maps where you do have roads touching on both sides, it is a bit of a nuisance because it's considered as part of the road. So if we do that, it will be fine. It's not like it's a big trouble cutting off one tree because there's way too much wood as it is. So yeah, we're just going to keep on growing this city, putting down more housing. Oh, gods. Let's not forget about the gods. Let's put it down one of those. And that should get him out of the brink of cursing us. We can just put down a couple of extra shrines as well. Nice little shrine wall in that space there, keeping all the desirability nice and fine. So Osiris was upset. We've cured his upsetness. And now we're going to just continue to grow the city, start to produce more fish. And just really, it's not too difficult this map. We've got all of our exports up and running. We just need to get the sandstone in and all the other kind of stuff that we are going to need to win this mission. So I'll come back in a bit later if there's anything interesting to show. Well, this is a little unfortunate. Dunkel Oasis is asking for 500 portions of game in 6 months, and we do not have a game meat industry running. So let us just take this opportunity to put down 2 of these. I might actually move this firehouse just a little bit. Let's just move you to there. And I'll put down a yard just here to accept game meat. And we should be able to stockpile that rather quickly given that we have the birds right next to these things. So let's just speed this up. The employees here don't care. Let's just speed this up, and could you just get access to employees? Would be nice. I mean, they've stockpiled up with meat already. I mean, look, that was easy enough. So it doesn't take too long to meet that request, so it's not too big of a deal. Let's just turn that off because we don't need it right now. And yeah, they produce pretty quickly, so that's not too big of a deal. That came up pretty quickly, and we have got 10,000. So exports on this map are not a problem. We've got everything set up. We're selling off 1,200 wood every year. We're selling off 2,500 wood every papyrus every year. Sorry. And yeah, it's just a case of slowly growing the city, importing the sandstone, and get on construction with this sandstone sun temple, which will look quite nice in there, I think. We produce enough reeds from these 2 here. We're already outstripping some of the supply, which is okay. So yeah, I'm just going to keep on going, slowly growing the city. Not really much to show on this map. We do have a bit of a food situation over here, which is okay. It's their first feedings. They've already got 2 types of food, which is good. Let's just make sure fire risk is not too big of a deal. It isn't. Could be a bit of a problem over here, so let's just add. Here comes another request, 700 buckets of fish to Dashur. We do not have that. Let's just stockpile fish in the thing. Because I sent the 500 portions of game to Dunkel, they are going to sell us more sandstone, but that helps. So we're going to get 40 a year, that's okay. Let's just find a place just there. I'm trying not to destroy trees, as you can tell. I don't really want to do that. What's our unemployment like? Bizarre trees are spawning in weird locations, but we can evolve this housing block when I put down all the various stuff there. Let's actually just empty this back to fill that up again. So yeah, we're just going to keep on going with this city, and I'll come back in once I have there's something interesting to show, because at this point we've got plenty of money from exports of wood and papyrus. This mat's going to not take too long, I don't think. Oh well, would you look at that? We have sent 700 buckets of fish to Dashur, and we can now trade with them. Let's have a look at that trade route. They sell straw, which is useless. Barley and beer. I don't think we can get that from anywhere at the moment, so that's basically the only source of barley and beer needed to evolve our housing, which we're not doing at the moment, so that's okay. Why are we sending this to stockpile? Oh yes, I said I'd stockpile to empty it so that we didn't have this getting distributed here, so I can meet that request. In terms of money, there is infinite amounts of it. We have way too. I mean, we've got 11,000 pretty quickly. We're selling a lot. We're not really importing that much at this point. It's actually all sandstone that we're just importing right now. And when we start to import clay, that might use up some of our funds, as well as barley, because they're key things that we're going to need. You can see here I'm putting down more yards as needed to when we can import more sandstone, getting all that stockpiled for our sandstone sun temple, which is going to go right there. And it'll look nice. Because this over here is where I'm going to have all the... I'll have all the pottery and beer stored here. Well, pottery and beer in 1 yard for these 2 blocks. And I'll probably have like a little bit coming out round the back here. I'm not too sure. I don't think... Actually, I can't get into this bit because I have to go around in a loop. Because I've blocked in this area here, so I can't really get into it without opening up round here and having a bit of a loop here for all the pottery and production and all that. I'm not too sure. Actually, pottery comes from a water trade route, so I'll probably have a dock over here or something and just trade it over like that, which would probably be easier. Got plenty of fishing boats, which is good, and they're not going to drown in the river or anything stupid, because that can be annoying. The farm's just down here. I did change the road layout a little bit. They just barely got off, so I am going to move them and make sure that they don't drown, because that'll be easier in the long run. Here's the next year. We're going to sell 2,000. Well, we're going to import sandstone and then sell, which is okay. We've already sold, I think, a bit of wood. Yeah, 1,100 wood has been sold, that's good. And yeah, we're sort of just really plodding along here. I did, one thing I did notice is that the bazaar here, the little trader wifey, whatever she is, Owen's going to buy more beer, which is useless, we can't really sell it. So these bazaar traders,
I'm going back to the bazaar for more.
I noticed that they were spawning out on this outer road randomly. Now I think that might be to do with having the bazaar on the same road line that the roadblock is on. If I put it here, I don't think she'll spawn in a weird way. I will keep an eye on that just to make sure in case I'm just talking a load of crap, which could be the case. Let's see, have we sold 800? If she still spawns out in the middle of this outer road, then fine, I'll not worry too much about it. But if I can solve it by just simply having... excuse me. If I can solve it by just having her on this road rather than that road, that helps a lot, and it'll help with city planning in future missions. So we'll keep an eye on her and just make sure she's not randomly teleporting. And if it's just something to do with... Oh no, she's... Okay, okay, plan out the way, no, that doesn't make any difference, she still just randomly teleports. Forget I said anything. So I'm just going to keep on going with this map, and really at this point there's nothing really to do except just slowly grow this city, continue to import the sandstone, And yeah, we'll just keep on going, and I'll come back in if anything of interest happens. Oh, what's this? City of Djedu wants 1,000 planks of wood in 12 months. Thankfully, we have a full yard, so you can go and help yourself. Meanwhile, I'm just padding out these blocks by putting in the entertainment and also adding some more houses, just because we've got a bit of a labour shortage at the moment. I have also put down here some pottery making production, and we're going to start to import clay from on here. They will come to this trading bit here first to buy their wood, and then they'll go here to sell stuff. I don't know what order they'll go in. They'll just go to each of them as needed because this is not connected. As long as I don't block in this pathway here, I'm fine. And we should be okay with that. We're putting in more houses and the like. I don't want to evolve the housing too far just yet because there's no point in doing that. In terms of sandstone, how much we got? 40. So we are maxing out and we're not really done yet. And I'll just continue to put down yards as and when needed and just continue to stockpile on it. We have way too much papyrus capacity on this map. And we're already selling out quite a bit. We can't really sell anything to Dashur. Could sell bricks, but I need to import clay, so I'm not really going to do that. We don't get enough clay imports at this time. So let me just sort these two farms. Let's just sort this out while I've got the opportunity to do so right now. Let's just not put a water lift. Why is there a water lift here when there's no meadowland? I don't know. I can even put another one in there. I might connect this up later, but I'm not going to do that right now. There. Sorted. Just do that, and there you go. You're connected. You're connected, okay. So got all those farms, and this is a little bit closer, so they shouldn't drown on the floodplain. I will put that road connection just there. And if they still drown, I will delete that and make sure that they don't. So we're just going to keep on going with this city. They have two little entertainments, so they won't evolve. I might go and put around some statues and the like around this place. Might even evolve this housing as well, I'm not too sure. So yeah, we're just going to keep on going, and I'll come back in if anything of interest happens. And I might as well not cut it off. I can just tell you right now that the price of beer has gone up by 11 deepins because of Owen willing to trade more of it. And that means it's going to cost a little bit more to import. So we are going to have to probably use the barley import because it has gone up a little bit. Not too useful. Alright, I'll come back in if anything of interest happens. Oh, would you look at that? The wood that we sent off to Djedu has opened up a trade route there. Let's have a look at what they do. They buy, whoa, 4,000 planks of wood. That's a lot. They also sell 2,500 barley, so we can get pretty much all the barley we need from here, as well as beer. They also buy papyrus too. And I believe they're the only source of linen on this map. I don't think we've been able to get a source of that. No, but we weren't able to get linen before that. So we are going to have to trade with Djedu whether we like it or not. Because if I look at our culture rating, it is at 45 that we need. And to get to 45, it gets stopped at 35 because you need mortuaries. So we do need to add some mortuaries and we'll need some linen in them. So I'm going to pay to open this trade route. It does mean I'm going to have to connect down here because that's the only way to get down to the wood supply. Let's just do that. Should be able to get over there. I'm actually going to just change this road layout just a little bit. We're going to put the road go around there. I'm going to do that. And a police station there. And there's an option for me to put the road up round like this in more of a loop and maybe move these houses to another side. We shall see. So we've got the trade route open to Djedu. They're going to buy a papyrus, which will give us more money. And yeah, at this point we're just sort of slowly growing our city, getting more people in. I might evolve this block. But we shall see. I'm not too sure yet. What's our fire risk in this block actually? That one's not too bad. I might add another firehouse there. Just put another one there. We'll just put an extra one down there. Just make sure everywhere's covered because I don't want places burning down. Because that would be kind of nasty. Let's just actually just put the road out like that. So yeah, we're just going to keep on going with this city. Djedu's going to buy up papyrus and then they'll go on to wood when they get the opportunity to do so. Because the papyrus is much closer than this over here. And we've got a hippo on the rampage. Well, that was great. He's just killed off someone, which didn't help. Oh well, we're just going to have to put up with this. I can't really do anything about it. When the flood is up, they won't do that, so that's unfortunate. Anyway, we're just going to keep on going. I'll come back in if anything of interest happens. Well, the requests are just coming in thick and fast here. We've had barely any time since the last one, and now Earnet is looking for some buckets of fish. I thought they had plenty. I don't know, we'll just set this to stockpile again. Owen's going to buy more wood, that actually helps. So we can now sell 6,500 planks of wood. So that's actually a lot. So I think we've got more than enough here. The unfortunate problem is that the Djedu traders have to come quite some distance. They have to go from here all the way across the city to get to the wood supply, which is not too good. And unfortunately now this is connected, they're going to use this single dock, which I don't really want, because it just screws up everything. They're always going to go to this dock first before doing anything, which is unfortunate. If that continues to be a problem, I will disconnect this here and stop selling wood. Or if I need to, I just put in I delete that farm and put a road connection onto there or something, I don't know. There's that fish. Stop stockpiling. Hopefully Earnet will open up as a trade route, because I don't think we can get very much clay. If I don't have to rely on clay imports from Owen, that'll help, because then it won't be such a problem trying to connect these two areas up, and I can probably get rid of this farm later and put it somewhere else, over here for example. Not really done much with evolving the housing yet. Short by 51 employees. Let's just sort that. Since it doesn't matter where this bazaar goes, let's put that there. And you can buy up all of that. I've put out this little loop here, which is where I'm going to put things like the brewers down, just where I can. 1, 2, 3, and a yard there for that. I could probably just put them anywhere I can, really. It doesn't really matter. Let's put that there. You can accept barley and beer. All the way around. There. Let's start importing some barley. Let's import to maintain 800. We can get it from Djedu here, which is a land trade route, which is fine. Let's see, how much wood have we sold? 700. 1100. So we should be doing not too bad. Buy up all the wood and then sell all the clay. You've sold all your clay basically for the year, which is not too bad. Actually going through that papyrus quite nicely now, which is exactly what we want to see. We've got plenty of papyrus being produced, which is good, and we've got another yard required to keep the sandstone flowing. 23 of 40, so we can keep that going there as well. Okay, so again, I'm just going to keep on going. The requests are just coming in as much as they can, and I'll come back in later if anything of interest happens. Oh, would you look at that? The fish that we sent off to Earnet has opened up a trader. Now, I did see this, and I just skipped past it. And I did read it. I just skipped past it, because I was sorting out some of this stuff down here. I've deleted this road connection, so this is no longer accessible to anything. And this will eventually lose workers as that happens. The way it's going to work now is they have to go across this floodplain, which does mean it's only going to work when the flood is up. Which is easier, because then it means that this dock doesn't end up being a place for them to import clay, which was a problem. And in replacement of that farm there, I have got to put down 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 farms in this rather meagre amount of floodplain over here, which it works. I did have to rearrange the road a little bit to get that maximum amount. There is a space for a farm right there, but if I do that, it cannot be accessed, so there is no value in putting a farm there. I mean, you can, but it just means that there's no way for it to be reached. I don't think even this one can be moved. No, see, there's no place to... If that is placeable there, I would put a farm there, because I could just put a road connection to it, but I can't. In response to putting farms there, I have put down some additional work camps here. Owen is going to trade more meat. 2,500. So I suspect that the trade quantities will go up in time. We are still continuing to import the sandstone here, just still slowly filling up these yards, which is fine. And you're going to continue to trade across there just because you can, which is not very helpful. But if we can just keep selling the wood, how much have we sold so far? 1,400. You're not really selling that, buying that much, which is fine. And yeah, we're just sort of slowly going on with this mission. We can't really do much else. More trade routes are opening by fulfilling all these various requests. which is good. And what's our gods like? I also did put down some more shrines just to keep them happy. This bit will be a shrine wall as well. And since I put down some architects here, I will make this a shrine wall as well. And probably there or there. I don't know where I'm going to put shrine walls, so I'll just do it as best as I can. So yeah, we're just going to keep on going. These are all going to drown, which is fine. They're all just going to drown in the flood because they just didn't get off of it in time, which is okay. There was some additional over here, but that's okay. So yeah, we're just going to keep on going and come back in if anything of interest happens. Okay, so as the missions continue on, I'm noticing that price increases happen quite often. Right here, we had an increase of trade for meat, which you saw. Not long after that, the price of wood went up, and that was actually because of the trade increase for wood. Here, owns increasing the price of meat, and I think there was another price increase as well. Where is it? I swear there was another price increase for something. Yeah, barley went up, beer you saw, and I think clay went up in price as well. I didn't really read that, but that's apparently meat. So basically, there's constant price increases, so importing things is actually going to be quite expensive, which is not too good because that doesn't exactly help when we're having to rely entirely on imports for things like clay. Has this connection been lost? It finally has. You can see here I put down all this barley industry, so we're going to start making beer. There's plenty of pottery up here. I'm going to evolve this block first, then this one. We don't want staggered evolution. You have all that pottery, but no one seems to be getting access to it very well. I don't think the houses are properly getting access to their entertainment yet. The people aren't walking around the houses yet. There they are, starting to walk around now, which is good. So we can sell plenty of wood. Unfortunately, we can only sell wood when the flood season's here because that's the only way to get down here. I may just decide to screw it and just, you know, connect it and not worry about having two docks. And I might move the dock somewhere else. I don't know what I'm going to do. We can get more clay from Eonet. I didn't actually check that earlier. But we can get additional clay from there. That's going to be 4,000 clay a year. So if I don't have to rely on Owen for all the clay imports, that will help in the long run. So that's that block up to Spacious Homestead. They can go higher, but I don't want to go that high just yet. How much can we hold? Another 350 people, which is not too bad. This block's not fully stable because it's not getting all its food just yet, which is fine. That'll eventually get access to everything. Plenty of fish stockpiling. Plenty of grain's going to be stockpiling. Overall, I think we're doing quite well. This farm is apparently irrigated even though it isn't. Let's just drag that up like that. And we can just clean that up there. Okay, so I'm not too sure if I need to go beyond these two blocks. I might not even need another block over here. If I do, I'll probably just build another small one like this. I won't do my big block like I did in Maydoom because I don't think we need that much population. And with that other block, I will evolve up to Fancy Residence. I'll keep these two as common residence blocks. I may evolve them higher, may give them Spacious Residence. But no higher than that. So yeah, we're just going to keep on going. Have I left space for a courthouse? Apparently I haven't left space for a courthouse, which doesn't actually help. So these might not evolve very high. I might actually delete one of the temples and replace it. Or something, I'm not too sure yet. But yeah, we'll just keep on going, and I'll come back in if anything of interest happens. Okay, so we have now got the amount of sandstone that we require for our sun temple. 220. Let's just put this down. I mean, you've seen how it's constructed before, so I'm not really going to go into too much detail on this. Just delete that and that. And we'll just stockpile it in 3 yards for now and just sort of let it work. So this needs another 160 blocks of sandstone. Unfortunately, all the guilds are over here. They are going to have to cross the river. I hope that doesn't mess up too many things. If it does, I will move them over here somewhere. Somehow. I've got more than enough beer and pottery in this city, so we don't really need to worry too much. In fact, let's just turn on game meat. Can we sell it? Apparently we could sell 1,500 a year, but that's not really worth it. So we can sell 2,500 papyrus, we can sell 5,000 papyrus, and quite a bit of wood. I did reconnect this area to the river, just because by the time that the Djedu traders started spying wood, the flood was up and then they just drowned basically. They couldn't get over here in time, so no real point in that. So the Sun Temple will get cleared by the base of these work camps. We'll just continue to import sandstone. I'll just stockpile it for a little while just to make sure there's enough to go in a one big burst. These are up to common, no, spacious residences, sorry. We're not going to evolve them any higher, there's no point. I could, but I don't want to have all the population in just 2 blocks, because that's not really realistic. I will set up another block over here, get it up to fancy residence. Maybe push this one up to spacious apartment. I'm not too sure. Either way, we're just going to keep on going, let the monument construct. You see how it gets built, I've already explained it to you. The workers go and clear out this base. The carpenters and stonemasons do their work on this obelisk thing. Then the sandstone is brought into to make the walls and tower at the end. So I don't really need to show you that. And yeah, we're just going to keep on going. I'll come back in if anything of interest happens. Okay, so we're just continuing along with this city. The Sun Temple is settled, getting there. They're now asking for sandstone. Now they've done their little tile and column thing. Over here, I have put down pretty much the remaining of our population. What's our goals like? 4%. I would rather put that up a little higher. So I will probably maybe cut back on this block, or maybe I'll just evolve some of these houses up into fancy residences. Since we have the option to do so, I may do that. I did put the linen down here. I don't think I'm going to do that. Let's just change that to empty. And what we're going to do is put a yard. Let me just move this. Just going to do that. We're going to have this set to get maximum linen. Bring it over. Are you set to empty? You are, so you don't need to be getting. Just accept all linen. And we are going to put this block up to at least we need a second firehouse. The fire risk isn't too bad. We will provide this housing block here with access to fancy residences, which is the highest we've gone so far in the game. I think there was opportunities in previous missions to go up to fancy residences, like Saqqara and various other missions. But this is the first time we're going to do it properly. We've got plenty of papyrus stockpiling here. I don't think we're actually maxing it out, so it's fine. Who else buys papyrus? Yeah, you're maxing it, so even with this supply it's fine. So we'll get rid of all the linen we had here. We'll start to put in some mortuaries when we need it. We do need to provide more juggler access, which does mean I'm going to have to put down some little culture dumps here and there. I'm just going to actually just change this. I'm going to put the firehouse there instead. Just roadblock there. And what we'll do is we'll put a booth right there. Anyone else I can find a booth to put down, I will put one down just to make sure that the culture is going up and up, because that's what we want. I'm sure there's places around here that I could put booths down. There's one there. And there's another one. I don't think we need any more yet, we just need mortuary access. So yeah, we just need to keep on going, getting this Sun Temple done, and I'll come back in once the Sun Temple is complete. And there we go, we've completed the Sun Temple. Didn't take too long, we actually managed to get plenty of sandstone in. And we have pretty much effectively won the mission at this point. All I have to do now is just put down some mortuaries and we will be there. We're actually going to hit 5,000 people very shortly when some of these houses that spawned due to this person teleporting again. Let's just make sure. Yeah, there we go, we've got 5,000. We've hit that before, but that's okay. So here you can see we've got some fancy residences, and just a note, fancy residence is the highest housing level that gives you workers. If I was to provide access to luxury goods like jewellery, they would become scribes. Well, they won't here because they're boxed in, but they would become scribes, and then that's they're no longer working. Normally I don't do housing blocks like this for scribe housing. In later missions when, like I think Djed-Djed in the Middle Kingdom, when they ask for estates or manors at anything kind of level, I will show you a proper kind of estate block or manor block or whatever you want to call it. So we have provided access to this. All I have to do now is put down mortuaries. In fact, I'm just going to save just to make sure, because we will win the mission the minute I do this. So let's just put down a couple of mortuaries here and there. And there's another one over there. So providing all of these mortuaries should take our culture up to 45, and we should win the mission as soon as it happens. I think they actually have to work before. There you go. So that was Djedu. We built a sun temple. We built quite a nice prosperous city here in the Delta. Very easy to make money. Very easy. You've got wood and papyrus. You don't need anything else. We never hit debt once. And even when I got the exports running, we were up to 10,000 very quickly. So not all in all, a very good mission to build your city building and economics. Let us proceed.
Superb. The glorious sun temple you have built honors both Ra and Pharaoh.
That's very short. That's a very short briefing. But that was Djedu. We built our sun temple. That's the second of 3 times that we build a sun temple. There's only one more instance where we do that, but it's not important. Culture rating 45. First time where we were basically required to provide mortuaries. I think. Yeah, that's right. Prosperity of 53. Kingdom rating 61. We didn't really need to do much with it. And the funds were crazy. Completed 171 months. Not too bad. So that was Djedu. If you are interested in going to the next mission, it's a choice. If you want to go to Dunkle Oasis, click on the left hand card. Or if you're interested in the peaceful option of Dakla Oasis, click on that right hand card. But for me, Sajuuk, that will be that for this part. And I'll see you in the next one. Bye now.